I don't like to use the word hate, but Skip, you're going to dislike me because they're much better than the Dallas Cowboys. And they haven't even ironed everything out, right? And what I mean by that, there's still wrinkles in their cloth. They've got to smooth it out with some steam, and they will do that over time. We're only talking about 3 weeks into the regular football season. They haven't even hit the midway point. They're still trying to get on the same page. If you take a look at this video that I'm about to show you, in the second quarter with about 48 seconds, Jalen Hurts throws his first interception. There's a miscommunication on the back right here who runs an angle route instead of hooking up in front of the dropping linebacker. If he hooks up, it's a perfect throw. He sticks it on the body. That's what Jalen's expecting him to do. Now you go on to the third quarter with about 9:59. Jalen Hurts has an incomplete to A.J. Brown in the end zone. What he does that's so perfect here is he manipulates the football to get it over the rushing defender. A.J. Brown's not understanding or ready for that yet. 4 weeks from now, we won't have this problem. He'll elevate at the highest level. Great throw by the quarterback to know that the defender's coming as a free rusher to put it up over his head. Now you go to the fourth quarter. The start of the fourth quarter, an incomplete pass to A.J. Brown on a corner route in the basket, touchdown, uncharacteristic drop by A.J. Brown. That won't happen down the stretch. So when you look at this football team, they found the running back in Swift. There's no question about it. Ridiculous. I don't know what Detroit did with him when he was in Detroit, but he's a new man in Philadelphia.
He's from Philadelphia.
And he's from Philadelphia. When you talk about the defensive side of the ball, and Richard knows this, they can pin their ears back and come and get you. And we saw that last night against Baker Mayfield. They gave up some plays at times in the secondary, but the defensive front, Lord have mercy. Hey, we talked about your Cowboys defensive front, but this dude and Jalen Carter, I don't know what everybody was talking about when he came out of school. He had the accident situation. He was overweight at times. But Philadelphia and Howie Roseman said, you know what? We got enough guys on Georgia's team that can vouch for him as a perfect human being for the guy that comes into Philadelphia and get things done. He's going to be a problem all year long for teams, including your Dallas Cowboys.
I agree with that. Go, Richard.
I mean, he's everything you guys want Mozzie Smith to be. He is a game wrecker. That's Jalen Carter. I mean, but not just Jalen Carter, because behind him or in front of him, you got Jordan Davis, who's another monster. Then you got Hassan Reddick. Then you got Brandon Graham. Then you got good old Fletcher Cox. Then you got Nolan Smith. You got so many things to worry about. Derek Barnett. You got all of these guys, and then you got the two corners, Bradbury and Slay. Then you saw Blankenship is back and had an interception in the game, playing really well, filling the gaps. Offensively, what did Dallas struggle with against the Arizona Cardinals and Josh Dobbs? Josh Dobbs played a really good game. He's going to be a pretty good quarterback if he gets an opportunity. But they struggled to stop the run. James Conner ran up and down the field 185 yards in the first half. So you think DeAndre Swift, who's finding his own, those gaps, that offensive line, they are people movers. They are moving people out of the way, and he is running through those gaps with an incredible speed. I think he may be a step faster, Skip always say, a step faster than your guy Tony Pollard. He may be a little bit more decisive than your guy Tony Pollard. I mean, I'm talking about this guy is getting it done. So we talk about all the levels of the teams. The running back position, I think Philadelphia Eagles are better. The offensive line, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are better. Receiver, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are better. The defensive line, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are better. The secondary, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are better now that you guys have lost your all-pro top 3 cornerback in Trayvon Diggs. So you ask me which team is better? The Philadelphia Eagles.
All right. I'm going to give this up to you two today, just for this day. I am wounded. I am reeling. I am vulnerable right now. I'm going to give you Jalen Carter over Mozzie Smith because I am disturbed about what hasn't happened so far with Mozzie Smith. I thought he was the real deal. Seemed like he was in training camp. He played 15 total snaps the other day of the, 80-odd that they had on defense. Would he have helped if he'd been in the game? I don't know. They got run out of the building, 222 yards rushing. I thought he was going to be at least Jalen Carter-esque. But I'm going to hang in there today, and I'm going to tell you, we still have one guy that the Eagles do not have. We got 11 from heaven, and you don't. You don't. I don't care what you say. You don't have that guy. And you can't tell me the Eagles, when they finally walk on the field and look across the field, the Dallas Cowboys won't think in their subconscious minds, they got 11 and we don't have 11.
Okay, so what has been 11's Achilles heel over the last couple of years?
You can run at him.
Oh, and what is it
he's
that the
250-ish.
And what is it that the Philadelphia Eagles does?
They lead the league in rushing.
Okay,
they lead
go
the
ahead,
league.
Skip. I just
Okay,
wanted to
right.
mention that to you.
I am the biggest
Good
Jalen
job,
Hurts
Keith.
fan. I saw him coming, trust me, before anybody did. You can go back and look at my timeline. I tweeted the moment they stole him in the second round, that they just stole him, that he's going to change life in Philadelphia, that he will make them soon forget Carson Wentz, and he did. Because he can throw the football. He's not a great thrower of the football, but he threw some last night that were pretty great to me. He is good enough to go beat Patrick Mahomes in a Super Bowl because he almost did.
I don't understand how, and not you, but people say he's not a great thrower of the football.
He's a very good thrower. He's very good. And it just gets better and better. By the snap, it looks like he gets better.
A great thrower of the football was Dan Marino.
Yeah. No,
that didn't amount to anything but a bunch of numbers.
Well, it did, because they didn't run the ball at all.
Well,
and what does Jalen do very well? He can run the option.
He can run the football.
And listen, DeAndre, I'm going to give you Swift, because I never loved him when he was in Detroit. I never loved him, and I was...
Change of scenery.
It was, but again, he grew up in the Philly area, and he's obviously found a new life there. And you can just see his body language. It's different now.
You can't go home and be a bum.
No, you can't be a bum. And it looks like he's found himself. He's got not only a change of scenery, he's got home soil. He grew up an Eagles fan.
So far, you've given us about 4 Eagles to 1 Cowboy.
Just remember, my offensive line was beat all to hell on Sunday, and you got to give us a little bit of break there.
Always are.
Wait.
Richard, I sighed and I turned my head because I didn't want to say it, but Skip, Richard just said it. They always are.
I had 2 Hall of Famers out for the whole game. My center, who's not old, was out for the whole game. And you know and I know what happens when your center is out. Everything seems to break down because he's the signal caller. He's sort of the general of the offensive line. And he plays at a very high level. Tyler Biadasz.
We are talking about last week's game. They were out, right?
3 of them are out.
3 of them are out.
3/5 of my offensive line.
So they're going to play on the defensive side of the ball for y'all to stop the run then.
No. They won't.
Just mentioning that. Just want to mention that.
I believe what Philly did last night was overrated, because Baker Mayfield threw some early balls that could have changed this football game. You know it, and I know it. I am the biggest Mike Evans fan, but early on last night, especially through the first 3 quarters, he was not to be found. I don't know what got into him or out of him. This is just my golden rule. If you get 2 hands on the football and you're that dude, you just come down with the football.
But it's hard when you're falling away from the football. You got to go attack it.
It almost seemed like the ball got on him faster than he thought it was going to.
Because at the top of his route, he needs to punch and come downhill.
And you're going to be ahead, whatever it was, 7-3 at that point. Would they have won the game? I don't know. But
Probably not.
But it would have at least made it more interesting than it was.
I understand. He's not going to attack him. So it could be a little bit of fatigue where he wasn't dropping his hips. I don't know what the case is. The bottom line, Skip, they lost the damn game, man.
Okay, but they did.
Yeah, and
Philly won.
Go ahead, Richard. Go ahead.
I mean, Philly won, and they won in convincing fashion. And they didn't do anything that would convince me that Dallas is better. Like you said, Dallas's O-line is banged up. Tyron Smith, who came into the National Football League when I did. And you see, I'm sitting here with a suit on, and he's still playing. But he hasn't played a full season since 2015. No. You know that, Skip. I know that, Skip. So when you talk about this O-line, when they're healthy, they are rarely ever all fully intact.
I know.
And so you have to prepare for that.
Tyron Smith dressed the other day and didn't play. He dressed. So I think he was thinking about playing, and then at the last second he decided, I'm not going to play.
See, when I start to break teams down and I look at who's better, I also look at all the positions, right? So if you go position group by position group, who can play for the Philadelphia Eagles that's on the Dallas Cowboys? Don't tell me the offensive line is banged up, because Philadelphia's offensive line is better, banged up or not.
I don't think it is. I just don't think it is.
They're certainly showing that they are.
If mine is healthy, and I know it's a big if, mine is better.
A.J. Brown has shown that he is the better receiver.
Okay, but
in that group.
on offensive line, Tyler Smith is a flat-out stud.
I understand. I understand.
He's got potential to be a Hall of Famer.
But all I'm seeing is Swift rushing for 300 yards in 2 games. That's all I've seen.
Yeah,
I don't care what defense they played against and what team they played against. They went into Tampa, undefeated team, no matter how Tampa Bay got there, and they won the game. Okay? Arizona, Dallas went into Arizona and lost to a team that,
And don't even go to just,
So
it's like,
look at it. Player for player, when you match it up, Richard, you know how we do this. We say, can that receiver play on this team? Can that running back play on this team? And now, if you want to get to the big picture, who would you rather have at quarterback? Jalen Hurts or Dak Prescott?
I give you that. I give you that.
Skip.
Okay, I give you that.
I'm saying the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line, if you go person to person, you take Kelsey over to Dallas center. You take Lane Johnson over their right tackle. Ain't no barely. Kelsey is a Hall of Famer. We're not going there, Skip. We're not doing that.
He's getting up there in age. I think he wouldn't.
So is Tyron Smith.
Okay. Yeah, right.
So
I'll take Tyron Smith over
Fredericks.
Kelsey right now. I'll just take him. I know it's left tackle to center. I'll take him.
That's a little bit biased. Tyron Smith is a Hall of Famer. No first ballot, no question about it.
Yes.
But without you guys being healthy, with you losing one of your best overall players in Trayvon Diggs, it's hard for me to put you guys in that conversation. I think Devontae Smith would be the one in in Dallas. I think he would be the number 1 receiver. I think if he went over there, he would be the number 1 receiver.
Over him any day or night. I'll take CD. I will.
I hear you, but I don't know if a lot of people would feel that. It's a lot closer than you think.
And not physical. The other guy's physical. The other guy is like a fullback.
Different type of receiver than
different ways to skin it.
But Devontae Smith pretty good but A.J. Brown, they like to utilize him a little bit more than Devontae, but Devontae can go too.
DeAndre Swift, Van Der Esch matchup, skip. Boy, I tell you, this defense got problems. They're going to have issues with this offense.
Richard,
he gonna hit his head on
the Wolf Hunter can hunt. He will be hunting DeAndre Swift, and DeAndre Swift isn't going to have 200 yards rushing. I don't care what you say.
Well, he may not have 200. They may have 200 as a unit.
Maybe that's what
he may have 160, and they can get the other 40.
I'm going to give you this. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like. Philly gets the ball with 9:22 left, and Baker is dangerous in fourth quarters because he's had some big fourth quarters. Remember when he came to the Rams last year on Thursday Night Football? Richard was there, I'm pretty sure, right, Richard? The Thursday night game here is at SoFi, yeah. Okay, and Baker's lit up a lot of teams in fourth quarters, and I'm thinking he's heating up, and he hit Mike Evans for the touchdown and then for a 2-point conversion. And I'm saying, here comes Baker, but he's got to get the ball back. Philly gets the ball with 9:22 left, and they convert 3rd and 1, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 4, and 4th and 2, and they run the clock out on 9 minutes and 22 seconds left. I'm impressed with that, but I wasn't overall impressed with Philadelphia. And I still say if Dallas gets right and Dallas gets healthy, maybe that's just what Dallas needed. I still believe Dallas is better than Philadelphia. I'm not San Francisco. They're not better than San Francisco.
Well, we shall soon see with the Patriots, the Niners, the Chargers all coming up for the Cowboys that just lost to Arizona. With Washington, the Rams, and the Jets coming up for Philadelphia, who just beat a 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneer team at home.
Okay.
Hey, Keyshawn, there's a couple revenge games in there. Kellen Moore, revenge game. Zeke Elliott, revenge game.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.